I'm Clyde Lewis. Welcome to Ground Zero Disclosure. Here on this program, what we want to do is we want to give you a behind-the-scenes look of what we've been preparing on Ground Zero with regards to the response to the mainstream media, talking about how, due to a 407-page document that was released about the U-2 spy plane, that Area 51 has been declassified by the government. Now, we all know that the classification began when Oxcart was declassified back in 2011. In fact, on Ground Zero, we had the opportunity to talk with T.D. Barnes, who just happened to be a CIA operative and worked at the facility at Area 51. And he kind of spilled the beans a little bit on what really goes on behind the scenes. Now, he's very careful not to talk about any kind of alien beings or perhaps even back-engineered craft that may be flying saucer-related or alien-related. But then he goes on to tell us something about a base called Wright-Patterson Air Force Base. Now, many people have speculated about Wright-Patterson Air Force Base as being the place where they carted off the alien bodies from Roswell. Give a listen to this.
Why do you think that the alien stories came out of Area 51? Because I did some historical research on the idea of Roswell. And what was really interesting is no one cared about the Roswell crash in the 1950s. They only cared about it after the 1960s and after the assassination of President Kennedy. So why do you think it all came out that way? What would give anyone an idea or an inclination that aliens or at least alien craft would be there at Area 51 if there wasn't?
I think what brought this all on is initially, the people that worked out there weren't even allowed to live in the state of Nevada. A few of us, like the CIA security guards, your communications people, maybe your cooks, and then my team, we had 23 of us on a special projects team, and we were, you might say, the cadre there, and we were allowed to live local. But no one knew about the place for 20, 30 years. We'd been there, and it wasn't until in the 1980s that they got wind that the place even existed. And then I think the big mystery, well, they've been there all this time. What has they been doing, that sort of thing? Mm-hmm. And someone speculated, well, I bet that's what the reason it's been so secret was the Roswell thing. And it was just, I think it's just the fact that no one knew about it is embarrassing that we were able to exist for that long period and no one knew we were there. And they did some of that at Wright-Patterson and places like that, but think of Area 51 more as a service organization.
It was fortunate that after the release of the information of the 407-page document that the CIA confirms that Area 51 exists, we had Donald R. Schmidt on the program. He recently has published a book called Area 51, and the book is out now. It's called Inside the Real Area 51, The Secret History of Wright-Patterson. When Don was on the program, he confirmed everything that T.D. Barnes had said, and even we had a few callers that confirmed what Donald R. Schmidt said.
Here's another guy, Mike in Florida, one of my favorite stations, WFLA 970 AM. Go ahead.
Well, I remember the first time I tried to get into Hangar 18 back in '63 to see the parts and everything of Roswell, and they told me they'd have to kill me first. Well, back in 2008.
Were you at Wright-Pat?
No, I was at McGuire.
You were at McGuire Air Force Base?
Oh, yeah, I was up there. I was stationed with Nathan Twining's son.
Yes, Nate Jr., absolutely. I know him very well.
Yeah, very good, right. Yes, and of course he was the next to the last one of the Majestic 12 to die. I have some information on the little fellow, and I don't know if I could talk to you about it or not, if it's still classified as very top secret or not, of the little living one that I know quite a bit about, you know.
Well,
maybe we should talk about it
off the air if you prefer, or
do you feel, Mike, that you'd be comfortable sharing that with the audience about the living creature?
Well, I don't remember for sure. I thought we had him about 2 to 3 years, and as far as I knew, some of the Majestic 12 were out there at Roswell at the hospital, and they had to make a voice box for him, and after that, he could speak very well, and in fact, he got to speaking so well that he was answering their questions before they asked him.
Really?
And about that time, they wanted to fly him out from there to Washington, D.C., to the CIA, the FBI, and the craft and everything disappeared. I don't know if it's over Kansas or something, but it disappeared. So,
Mike, did they name him?
Name him?
Yeah, did they give a name to this creature?
Oh, now that I don't know. That you want to check with Art Bell.
When he comes back on the air again.
Yeah, I'm serious, right. No plug and saying that.
In his Art's Parts back in '96.
Exactly. Yeah.
I don't think he had the name in there, but see, they flew the pieces all over the place, too. To Denver University and MIT, and I just happened to have a buddy at Boeing working at that time. He's in one of our computer clubs right here, down here in Tampa, Florida, in St. Pete here. And he got to handle some of the materials, and it's like, you can wrinkle it all up, and it just bounces right back,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You're still acquainted to this individual, this person who handled the material. You're still in contact with this person.
Oh, yeah. He lives right here in St. Pete. The one who worked at Boeing? Oh, yeah.
I'd like to talk with him, if possible.
Would you?
Yes.
Yeah.
Through you. So that's why if you could also stay on the air.
Credit. I just think Colonel Corso doesn't get quite as much credit for some of the things that we have. That I can see. Probably he was told to do some cover-up work too.
Well,
they're good soldiers.
But he did at Fort Worth. He did see the bodies and everything.
So he said, yes.
Well, Mike, Here you go. We're going to put you on hold, and we're going to get your information. We're going to turn all this. We got the information of the guy before you, and now we're going to get your information and give it to Don. Don will have at least 2 leads he can follow up on. Thank you for listening to my program, and thank you for calling in and talking about this information. It's so good to have eyewitnesses to call into a program. So hold the phone. Our producers will be with you shortly. There you go, Don. I mean, every time you come on this show, we get some most remarkable people that want to talk to you about some of the things they've seen.
Well, quickly, Clyde, let me assure you, should anything come of any of these new leads, you'll be the first.
Oh, thank you, my friend.
We'll be back on, and we'll
Fantastic.
break the news.
Fantastic. Okay, so we got a few calls to get to. More people want to talk to you. Don Schmidt on the program tonight, inside the real Area 51. You just heard some eyewitnesses. It's some amazing stuff. Some leads breaking here on this program. It's just amazing who listens to Ground Zero.
It was fortunate that we had an old-timer call the program and state that he was on the base at the time, Wright-Patterson Air Force Base, and he said there was a living being that was there. They gave him a voice box, and he learned how to talk pretty well. We don't know if the alien is still alive, but of course speculation tells us that the alien being died in 1948. For more information about this, you can find the book, Area 51, The Secret of Wright-Patterson Air Force Base, Donald R. Schmidt, or listen to Ground Zero for more details. I'm Clyde Lewis, and this has been Ground Zero Disclosure.